Hello, in today's video we're going to be painting Magneto from Marvel Crisis Protocol. So we'll be taking him from this to this. Now obviously it's more assembled, but we'll get there in the video. Let's jump into it. Alright, so let's get painting. I think what we're going to do, we're going to try to do, instead of just painting red on him, like red paint, we're going to use contrasts and see kind of like what we get out of it. So first, let's do what we always do and get his face, since it's tucked in Reichland flesh. Where did I get? I have this in 2 spots. Oh, I didn't know I had that many. Let's take his flesh tone right here, the Gilliman flesh, and we'll just kind of poke it into his helmet and get it on his face that's in there. And his neck. Here we go. So that'll be good for that. Now, clean the brush off. I'm using a brush I don't really care about, just in case this stuff makes it bad. And then make sure when we did that, we don't, see how we got some here, we don't want that on there, because the red, it'll make the red be all weird probably. So let's do that. And then, I know I have one. Pretty sure I do. If I don't, this is gonna be embarrassing. No, I for sure do. Is this it? Here it is. Blood Angels Red. So give it a good shake. And then we're gonna get pretty much the whole model, except like, try not to get the spots that are gonna be purple. So just start painting it over. Do our best to not mess with spots that shouldn't be this color. And I have him pinned in the back right now just because I didn't want to glue his cape on and not be able to do the back, like how it's been on the last couple videos, where I'm like, the back, how do we paint the back? Let's just get some in there just so that it, and you can see we get like a really nice red tone off this contrast paint. And it's already like doing our wash step for us. I can probably actually hold him by his feet right now just to kind of be able to maneuver stuff a little bit better. In some ways, contrast paints have made things better, especially for me. Like, painting these colors has always been kind of sucky to do, but now I don't dread it as much, just so I can just be like, oh yeah, I can just use a contrast paint to get it done, and it looks like a nice paint on him. So now let's get his helmet the best we can. Trying not to get in where we have the eyes and stuff done. The purple will go over this fine, because the purple is just going to be a normal paint. We're not going to use a contrast for that. Just as nicely as you can. Go there just in case. so that'll get his helmet. Cool. Now there's in between here, I think, is red also, between his gloves, and his hands are purple. Okay, so to make sure, just checking my reference, we can just kind of go like that, and then when we go in with the purple, it'll just go over this really easily. So at least that's what I'm telling myself right now. I don't actually know yet, but we'll learn together. We'll learn at the same time if it worked or not. Okay, so now we can put him back on the clippy so I can get the legs. Come on. He's not glued on there or anything like that, so it's just kind of wiggly right now. Thankfully, like a little bit of this stuff goes a long way in covering. Let's just take this off so I can get back here really quick. Just hold the legs. I think holding the feet is probably just easier at this point. Just try to get all the brush strokes going in the right direction. Make sure you're covering up all the white that you see. It's already drying on the top really nicely. So make sure I'm getting under the little undercuts and stuff. I just gotta get between the boots really quick. I think I can still hold his feet, but this will still help for drying. So with contrast paints, you always want to base coat white or gray so that the colors will go through, otherwise they won't. I don't know, gray would maybe work for like more like metallic-y colors maybe, but for what we want to use white. Alright, cool, and that's it for the red, which is really fast coverage. Looks like a Power Ranger right now, but we're gonna let that dry and then we'll come back to it and get the purple and the metallics all done on him. Okay, we should be pretty dry now, but let's let it sit just a little bit longer while we'll get some other stuff. We'll get the cape and stuff. We got a couple purples here that we can choose from. Got all of these. They all look the same. I think this one's the one we're gonna go with right here. This blue violet. That one looks like it's better. It's a little like more vibrant a purple. So let's just get his cape while we are here. Try to just do like a one smooth motion. Try to go in one direction, so if you do have streaks, that at least they all kind of flow the same way. This doesn't matter as much because it is the back of the cape and you probably won't be able to see it. Do your best to do a good job. Get nice coverage. Try not to work an area too much because you might tear the paint. He's like Doctor Strange, he just has his cape that's his own thing. Maybe his cape has metal in it and he can just fly his cape around. This piece was a pain to get on, so if you want to look really quick, I just kind of glued it like right there and there. The instructions show it like this, and it's like, glue it there. And it's like, I don't know where you want me to glue. Because there's no like slot for it or anything like that. Like, this at least had a slot into this piece. Their models are just weird how they assemble sometimes. This is a nice purple that we're using. It's gonna really look cool with the red. Just get in there the best you can. It's okay that we're hitting these because we'll paint those over with some metallics. There we have a purple cape. So now, let's clean off our brush. And get our red Power Ranger. I was messing with him. I was like, he looks like a Power Ranger right now. So let's take him off that because I feel like him spinning around is going to be a bad thing. So let's start with the head as best we can here. We're going to try to get around it. Favor the bottom as you go, because this whole bottom part is purple, so it's okay if you get purple on it. We missed some red back here. It's fine, I guess. Get his little thingies. Just pushing very lightly into the model. just take your time. Try to have as good a grip as you can on the model. So far, so good. And we can just kind of finish it off like that. And we'll just start working top down onto the rest of the model. Just in case some of this stuff shows too, you kind of just get a little bit in there. Okay. We'll get his belt. It's okay if we're getting here because he actually has some purple underwear on. See, the red we didn't get as great as we should have in some areas, but it's okay. So let's go continue the red here and get here. Okay, now we can go for the hands. So we have the innermost rings are going to be the red. that we brushed into them. So get some paint on our brush here. It's too much paint. And then like as light as you can. Start going over those areas. With the other glove. I'm shaking a lot. Gotta manage the tremors here. And try our best to keep it on the line. Oops. That's his gloves. Now we gotta go on to his legs. But I'm gonna take a little break because my hands are shaking a lot and I'm not feeling super great, so we'll come back to this in a bit. Okay, feeling better. But for how long? No, it'll be fine. Which one were we using? This one, the blue violet. Okay. So let's finish up his little feet. As best we can here while he's spinning on this, because I didn't glue it into him, because that doesn't make sense. Kind of support him with our fingers here. Remember to try to breathe. Don't just hold your breath the whole time you're doing this. The question is, do we risk it and try to get these raised stripes that are here? Do we make those purple and risk everything that we've done so far? Or do we just leave it and say, nah, that's good? 'Cause I think they should be purple. If I remember my X-Men cartoon correctly. But it's entirely possible that I don't. Okay, let's take out of this. Flip around. Let me see. Actually, let me let's look at the box art. They don't have it. Doesn't mean it's right. I'm just specifying here. And this is just the back. It's going to be covered by the cape mostly, so calm down. I know it's not great. Everybody calm down. Just kind of lightly hold it here and then not linger too long holding it on this paint, and then there we go. And that's the purple done. So let's put him up there to dry. And now we can get this stuff, start going into this. Okay, first steps. What are we gonna do here? Let's get our gunmetal for all the beams and stuff. Oh, I keep forgetting this is jammed. Why don't you guys remind me? Come on. That's what you guys are here for. You're supposed to be like, hey, your paint's clogged. Okay, they're cool. Ah! Okay, we can get a little bit bigger brush here. And the question is this... Is that a brick or is that a beam? Brick or beam? Let's just get all the stuff that's in there that's metallic and in nature. Can I say, I bought this Citadel paint cup. It's $10 for a cup, but it has like all these like ridges in it and stuff that help kind of clean your brushes. And I like it. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's other choices out there or whatever, but you know, it does what it says it does, and it works. So I mean, if you're looking for a new paint cup, definitely would recommend the Citadel paint cup. You know, it's weird to be like, yeah, you guys want cups? You can buy a cup. But I've noticed my brushes get cleaner a lot faster with it. I mean, I'm not using like super high-end brushes or anything like that, so maybe that would be different if I was, but I don't know. The sucky thing about white primer is that it still kind of shows through everything. I was debating painting all of this black before doing this, but you know, the complaint about the black paint that I have right now is that it's hard to freaking find right now. And I don't have a lot of it. So definitely trying to conserve a bit. Oh, no, that's a... I think I said I was printing some cool terrain for this game on one of the last couple episodes, and I was, but then my printer exploded. Not like actually exploded, but like the nozzle, I guess, or something got clogged, and it just ballooned up a giant piece of plastic. And it looks, and I don't know if my printer, I bought a new heat sink and everything to kind of replace it, but I don't know, man, the wiring and everything has PLA all over it, and I'm worried that it might start a fire. So that's fun. It's the fun part about 3D printing, is that it's not perfect. But the only way it gets perfect is if people keep using it, right? And eventually it'll be to a level where it's not as sketchy as it is. Uh-oh, the cat is going crazy in the living room apparently. Paint and girders. Please insert girder. Okay, now we gotta get to this part here. When you're thinking about painting this stuff, I mean, just think about like, well, it's Magneto, so it's got to be metallic somewhere. I don't know if, I think this looks like, this kind of looks like some scaffolding from a building probably. So just think about like, what's that stuff made out of? What does that look like when you pass it on the street? You know, if you live in a bustling city. So much metal. He also comes with these two other pieces too, but I don't know if I'll be painting those for this video. I don't know if they're part of his abilities. Let's find out actually. Let's find out if they're just terrain pieces or if they're part of like what he does. Magneto. Here's his card. Costs 6 points. They're metal construction pieces of terrain. He gets energy for them. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like the art that they use for this game. He's got like red eyes. It's cool. Let's Get some more gunmetal down. I wonder, I mean, this is probably somewhere, but if you know, leave a comment. Tell me, why is Magneto's costume purple and red? Such a, I mean, it was whatever time when he was made, but the 80s or is it the 70s? But it's just like it's just a weird color choice, like to be like, oh yeah, my villain he's like a really powerful villain. He's really strong. Usually, you know, you'd go darker colors. I mean, red for sure would be a color, but then like the purple, that's just like weird. Like, and now it's like super iconic, right? Like it's a very iconic costume color. I was debating painting him the purple and red, or I was gonna paint him the white and black, but I don't know, I think we've done a lot of white and blacks on this channel, so I mean, maybe not whites. We haven't done a lot of whites because we only did like the ARC Trooper video, which has a bunch of views for some reason. I don't understand why that one does. And then I did the what was the other one that had the ATRT, I think, had some good views on it too, and I was like, is it because they're new or because it's Star Wars? And I tried doing a Princess Leia video and that didn't do so good, so I was like, hey, maybe I guess it's because they're new, because I don't think I'm that great of a painter for like people to be like, oh, look at this guy, you know. So okay, so now we get our black paint. And we gotta get like this whole thing. So just, because we use it for like kind of an undertone. And like all that kind of stuff, so. And you know, I like having black base rims. It's just a lot cleaner. Look, it frames the model really well. We're gonna have to probably take a break again to wait for this to dry, because if we try to paint the gray over the top of this, it's just gonna smear the black paint everywhere and it's not gonna look good. So let's just power through this section here. Kind of dot with the brush here. Yes. Let all that kind of sink in there. Let's just finish this off. Kind of pick your places to hold onto the model carefully. You can hold on here because it's just that metal color. So get here too. We'll be doing a brown wash over all this metal colors too, so it'll be fine. Okay, so there's that. I mean, I guess since we're here and we have the blackout and we don't want it to go to waste, so. It's like a barrel and like a, I think that's a, what are those things called? I was gonna say like a toll thing, but like, I don't know. I think it's like a thingy. A meter, that's what they're called. Jesus. A pay meter. I heard you guys screaming into the thing. You're like, meter! It's a meter! Okay. And we gotta get just kind of in there, over there. Should have probably done this first on the Magneto too. It's just easier once you don't have to worry about the other stuff. And just go around there. You're like, okay, we get it. You're just painting the bases black. This isn't exactly good video content. I get it, man, but we gotta, it's the little things that matter. It's this little step that we're doing now. It's gonna help it later. Oops, why did I primer it with this on it? That's like a piece of the sprue. Oh well. Cool. We have a lot of metallic down still too, so let's just take that and get that all worked into these models while we can. Metal painting. I think it might be better. I can probably put this poster tack down here and then like stick this on it. That's probably a good thing right now. Oop. Okay, well it's not sticking, so that didn't work. I can just clip it in. It's not that big of a deal to touch up some. It kind of is though, because I don't have a lot of black. Let's just do that. Just find a spot to hold it and hope for the best. It's we're just painting it all metallic right now. Just we'll figure it out later. Okay. Let that sit for a bit because I don't want to touch the stuff here. Sign part. Let's just kind of do this to it. I think this is a car door that's attached to this. Yeah. So I'm just gonna paint all of this. Let's hold on to like the side view mirror. And we'll put like the other stuff in there. Let's get just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Like a street pole. Okay. Cool. There's that. Since we still have some to work with here. Just paint this little barrel that we got going on here, and it's like power box or something, whatever this is. We'll do some other stuff to it later, but let's get all that in. Oops, put that on there. Okay. So now that that is done, we can go to the, this is for sure dry now. So we get our medium sea gray, like we've been doing. I feel like I should put him into a little vise. I think this is it's gonna work out better if we do. So let's just put him in there. Get our gray now. Just start. Oh, you can see that some of it's still wet actually. Oops, where did I put it? It's here. Okay. Need to clean my palette. Keep forgetting which is the wet paint and which is like dry old paint. I think the key to be back. Give me 1 second. I need to go save my fiance and her friend from the terror of the deep. Is there a monster out here? I'm gonna lock him up. He's beaten that. I put it in the fridge. back in it. Okay. This guy. Let's clean up some of the streakiness of this. Especially in there. Okay. So I think now we can take our Agrax Earthshade wash. We're going to try to stay away from the floor for a second, just while that dries, but we can get the metals. Gotta clean that up. It's on his cape. Can't have that. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we can get done here. Yeah, see, that's what you don't want when you do that. So just soak it up a little bit, it'll be fine. Okay. Let the ground dry some more. We gotta clean up his cape. I haven't decided if I'm going to wash the cape or not. I kind of like how it looks. I like the colors on it. Just clean all this up. It's got little splatters from our wash on it. It'll all dry. Okay. Clean that up. So the rest is just putting some of that brown wash over like the rest of the sticky parts that are there, but other than that, we are good to go on him. So we can go ahead and put him, attach him to the model. So we're going to take this little pin out here that we use for painting. I'm going to take a little drop of super glue, put it on the end here, and then we're going to take some accelerant, and just do like a little teeny drop in his back there. Oh god, hopefully that doesn't ruin that. The paint we got. Okay, and then we can slide him on here. Let me, oh boy. Go like that. Then definitely have some more cleanup to do here. Thing is, because I glued it before and then I took it apart after, because I was like, oh no, it's going to be easier to paint it if I don't have them attached to the cape. So I'm glad I did it, but not glad I did it how I did it. Okay. So that to clean up the chest a little bit. So let's go in here with our red contrast again. Let's clean it up as best we can here. And just get like some of these little areas where you can see some of the white sticking up. I did have some spots under here. Okay. And let's get his boot. I noticed a spot on his boot that was, the purple was off, so let's get some of that purple back on there. Just try to clean up all the white that we have showing here. Here we go. And that is Magneto until if I decide to. I have a purple wash, but I think he looks pretty good how he is. Let me know what you think in the comments. And you know, if we decide that he needs more, we can go ahead and do the wash on the purple. Definitely gonna have to clean up the base. So But thanks for watching. See you next time. Like, comment, subscribe. All that jazz. I'll see you next Wednesday. And let's pick it up from here.